Think about the last time you deeply felt pleasure. The kind that makes your body hum, vibrate with excitement, where time ceases to exist. Now, was it during sex? Or was it while savoring something delicious? Laughing, dancing, sinking into a hug? When was the last time you wanted sex to just end? Did you continue till the end? There are many reasons for engaging in sex, up to 237. Of them, pleasure remains one of the strongest motivators. But what is pleasure? We can see it as a reward, a mix out of wanting, craving, and enjoying, up to the point of being euphoric with sensorial sensations. Pleasure is a subjective experience arising from within, in which we vary beyond favoring vanilla or kinky ice cream. What I might really enjoy doing, like licking the soft dip of your belly button, might be a total no-go for you. But how would I know? Unless you show or tell me. I invite you to close your eyes. Come on, close your eyes. You can trust me. Take a deep breath and feel your body. Feel how you're sitting. Are there any tensions? Perhaps some tiredness? Perhaps you can even get a grasp of what emotions you're feeling. Now imagine you're about to do something wildly pleasurable. No expectations, just for yourself. Perhaps you can feel your body warming up, starting to tingle. Imagine someone you find incredibly attractive, gasping into your neck. Perhaps you notice how your breath changes. But suddenly, someone knocks on the door of your mind. You open your eyes to see inhibitions, taking you out of the moment, out of the momentum, by blocking your excitement. Inhibitions can come in many shapes. Through shame, a feeling of being inadequate, wanting to hide. Guilt, that little voice whispering, I should, I shouldn't. That can turn into a feeling of obligation. Trauma. This one goes deep. It lingers in your body and shapes what you think others expect of you. Fear of not being good enough. Hello, performance anxiety. Moreover, sexual pleasure is often considered dangerous. STIs, so sexually transmitted infections, pregnancy, violence, perhaps even fearing intimacy. With all these risks, is pleasure even worth it? Yes! Remember enjoying and wanting something? Pleasure, any kind of pleasure, makes you feel vibrant, alive, energetic, happy. So, I told you pleasure is subjective, but it is also shaped by cultural norms. Let's take a simple example. Something we all do every day. Peeing. It might be very pleasurable to pee, but I'm well aware that I can't do it here now, in front of you all. And peeing is interesting because to do it, you have to relax, let go of those tense pelvic muscles, that just with stress relief. Even something as basic as peeing in public is judged differently depending on if you're a man or a woman. This is hypocrisy, a double standard. And of course, we also have them in sex. The sexual double standards, with which women are expected to be pure, passive, like a virgin. And if not, seen as easy, even slutty. While men are expected to take the lead and are celebrated for having sex with as many as possible. Of course, some of us challenge these ideas, but they've shaped us for the last few centuries. When I say women and men, I would like to acknowledge that these are two common expressions within the spectrum of gender identity. Yet pleasure can be felt by every body. That being said, when comparing heterosexual pleasure, we find a pleasure gap between men and women, with men orgasming nearly every time they have sex, while women around 2/3 of the time. What the pleasure? Are women less capable of experiencing sexual pleasure? I mean, their orgasm is complicated, right? Yet lesbians, they experience more sexual pleasure than straight women. So maybe we should take lessons from lesbians. Further, when gender equality is higher, the pleasure gap is lower. To explore reasons for this pleasure gap, let's do a little quiz. Raise your hand if you know what this is. Could I have lights? I don't see the audience. Oh, I don't get lights. Okay, 3, 2, 1. I don't see if you raised your hands, but those who did, congratulations. You are clitorate. Those who didn't know, please Google clitoris. When looking at the vulva, you might just see the tip of the clit. But it has these inner bulbs that become erect, so they fill with blood when arousal rises, just like the penis. You can stimulate it through the inner labia and through the entrance of the vagina, the so-called clitoral urethral vaginal zone. And all kinds of liquids can come out. Lubrication, ejaculation, squirting. But of course, pleasure isn't just genital. It can be a full body experience, going from the tip of your tongue to the tips of your toes, extending into your imagination. But we have sexual scripts, so how we think sex should go, which impede this. Common heterosexual scripts are: sex is penetration, the vaginal penile kind, and sex ends when he orgasms, which not only overlook a lot of pleasure for a lot of people, but also make me repeatedly ask myself, what is sex? Is dry humping sex? Sexting? Where does sex begin? Scripts can create pressure, like when he has to have an erection to have sex and is also responsible for providing her as many orgasms as possible. Instead, she could be taking agency over her own pleasure, and they could explore all the things you can do without using a penis, like fondling with a feather or spanking with a spoon. Scripts can create expectations, like when we flirt, this means we want to kiss, which means we want to have sex, and once we start having sex, we can't just stop in the middle, or? It's like an escalator. Once you take one step onto it, it takes you up, up, up to the top, But actually, you can also pause on a level or take a step back down or just swing around on the playground of possibilities instead of taking that darn escalator. Further, women tend to do more sexual emotional labor by prioritizing their partner's needs over their own. A common example is faking orgasm. Most do this to avoid hurting their partner's feelings. And even though it's more common with women, men actually also do it, even in oral sex. But here's the thing, if we're both just pretending, who's actually feeling pleasure? What kind of script is that? The point script? Actually, arousal is arousing. So if I focus on myself getting hot and wet, that will arouse my partner, which will arouse me. And like that, our arousal rises and takes us into pleasure dimensions. So what kills pleasure? Missing anatomical knowledge and exploration, following scripts instead of desires, and prioritizing your partner's needs over your own. Pleasure is a bit like the moon. It can be shy sometimes, hiding behind clouds, staying in the dark. But when you perceive it, wow, hello moon. Just like the moon, even like if you don't see it, it's still there. And just like the moon, your pleasure doesn't just disappear. It's waiting for you to notice it, to feel it. So knowing about pleasure isn't enough. You need to feel it. Imagine eating the best ice cream in the world. Cold, sweet, soft, melting taste on your tongue. But if you're not present while eating it, scrolling on your phone, it will just be just like this is also your pleasure. You need to perceive it, to be present. Otherwise, the sweetest sensations just slip past. Do you want a recipe for electrifying pleasure? How to stop performing and start feeling? It's not about what exactly you do. It's about how you do it, how present you are, where you do it. Tonight, whether alone or with a partner, I invite you to break the script. Explore yourself. Run your fingers softly over your skin. Grasp, rub, float. Breathe through your mouth into your belly. Contract, relax, let go. Your body knows. Just listen and follow your curiosity. Thank you.